Good morning. It's Viewpoint, the program of personalities, politicians, and perspectives. And I'm sorry we cut your question right off midair, Mrs. Busby.
Well, I was concerned about them. They're lovely people.
Yeah, well, the technology being what it is, we have to move on.
Okay.
Yes, all right. Well, kudos. Memorial Day is coming up. By God, it's hard to believe. Next Monday is going to be Memorial
Yes,
Day.
Yes, it is.
Rolled around in a hurry. As you get older, it gets more significant. Folks who go out there at the cemeteries all over the county and put out the flags at the veterans' graves, somebody got to do that. And somebody always shows up, and faithfully, year in, year out. So kudos to those folks who spend the time to go out there. And that's just not going out there and planting a flag. There's a lot of paperwork that has to be involved there to make sure you're in the right spot. So those folks do a great job, and we appreciate that very much. By the way, did you know, folks, that I should have known this a long time ago, and I did, but I've long since forgot it. Did you know that the Star Spangled Banner has 4 verses?
I know that.
No. Did you not know that?
No.
Well, I'm here to inform you today. Now, your day's been made. You're supposed to learn something new every day.
All right.
I came up on the internet not long ago, YouTube, a retired Marine in his, I guess, mid-age, 50 somewhere. And it was at a 4th of July celebration. It just came around. That's what has been around before. But he proceeded to sing the 4th verse of the Star Spangled Banner, a cappella. Mm-hmm. And I want to tell you, he had them. At first, when he started singing, they didn't realize, because he didn't use the familiar words of the first verse. And all of a sudden, you could see people understanding that this is the national anthem. And one by one, 2 by 2, they started to get to their feet. And they started giving the honored salute, the hand over the heart. And that old fellow stood there in a cappella, that 4th verse, and it was just kind of spine-chilling. It really was really great. So you might want to look that up out there, folks. Get on YouTube, and you just dial in Marine singing Star Spangled Banner, and you'll get it. Why don't you introduce our nice guest? We've got a lot of work to do this morning.
Oh, I'd be proud to. Jan Schacht is the director of the local Y, and it's not local as in Lincoln. It's local as in area.
The Lincoln area.
Yes.
Logan County.
Yes.
Logan County.
And Chris Cicci, you've been with her for quite a while. You're the sports director.
It'll be 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years in August.
Good. Well, you've met a lot of little kids then, haven't you?
I have indeed.
He's one of our local successes.
Oh, certainly.
Certainly is.
Well, they both are, by George.
Mm-hmm.
You have so many programs going for the summer, fun programs, and also, of course, they run throughout the year. It's not a summer deal. One thing that I'd just like to talk about, because I think it's so important, is the after-school program and the number of facilities that you present this program to. Which one of you would like to be the guy?
I'll talk about
You be the
that.
guy?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
be the guy.
Sure. Well, we've had the after-school program since the mid-'90s, and rolling with those into all 5 of the District 27 elementary schools. And we're in Chester East Lincoln, and we're at Olympia South in Atlanta, Illinois. And then we're also in the midst of sending a survey out to the parents of WLB and Zion Lutheran schools to see if there's an interest in having an after-school program this coming school year. So, yeah, we're out there in 8 sites, and 6 of those sites have before-school programs, and 8 of them have after-school programs. And we also have a preteen program for the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade children. We take our van and pick up the children from the elementary schools in Lincoln and transport them to their own more age-appropriate program.
Tell us what they do when they get there. There are so many families where both parents are working, and this has got to be something that they the parents really appreciate, and the kids hopefully too.
Yeah, most of our programs, except Olympia South, it starts at 2 p.m. when school dismisses. The other programs start around 3. And there's a lot of components to the program. We start out with attendance and getting the children bathroom breaks and feed them a little snack, and then we do a little outside play and come in and settle down. We do homework assistance for 15-20 minutes, and then we break off into various programs such as character development. We talk a lot about manners and being kind, things like that. We also implement arts and crafts, fun time, and table time, puzzles, games, a little indoor recreation. And that keeps us pretty busy until about 6 o'clock.
I'd like it if you could please and thank you give us kind of a thumbnail sketch of character development
Sure.
and manners. What do you cover there? That to me seems like a real need. Us old people think it's kind of waning, don't we, Bill?
Unfortunately, we do think that, and it is true, unfortunately. So, talking to the youngsters about good manners and good conduct, the niceties of the civilities of life, you can't do it to any too younger. You're doing them a great favor.
Yeah. Well, the YMCA has always had 4 core development traits, and that's the honesty, respect, responsibility, and being caring. So those are the main 4 that we talk about day in and day out. But they branch off into manners at the table while we have snacks, sharing.
Good for you.
And just being good friends, good neighbors, volunteering, things like that the kids, our staff kind of leads them into discussion. What are you thankful for? We'll be doing a lot of that in the summer camp as they sit down and eat their picnic lunches. That we'll be talking about, what are you thankful for? Talking about families and, just tying a lot of things in, all relative to being kind and
that's so basic. It's so basic, but unfortunately, as you alluded to earlier, we have parents that are struggling with 4 jobs between 2 parents, or in cases of single parents, a parent working a couple of jobs, and things kind of fall through the cracks. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. You're doing a great service to these youngsters and to their parents by trying to picking up where maybe that wouldn't get covered.
Yeah, and I also know that so many of the elementary schools do the very same thing in the course of their day. You can walk through the halls and you'll see signs about being courteous, respectful, honest, things like that too. So you just piggyback off of that too as well. But it's been a long-standing part of the YMCA to implement those kind of character traits in children.
Well, I'd
Very
personally
important.
like to thank you for doing that.
Thank you so much.
I'm afraid
Seriously.
narcissism is kind of rampant, and it's well that they learn this. You don't ever get any younger. This is as young as we're going to be, Bill. This is it, bud.
Sorry you mentioned that.
So, moving into summer.
Sticks and stones.
Yeah. Moving right along into summer, which is here. Yesterday proved it, I think.
Finally.
Yeah, and you got all kinds of programs going. My first acquaintanceship with the Y was the soccer program, because grandkids who are now 30 were playing soccer. And gosh, that was a great program. When does that start, and what does it require?
Well, we'll let Chris talk about that. He's
Well,
our
since
sports
he's a
director.
sports guy,
Sure.
yeah.
Well, unfortunately for soccer, that season just wrapped up this last Saturday. We won't start again until the fall, but it's always one of our biggest programs. We're very thankful that LDC, what was the former LDC, lets us use their grounds for our soccer program, and we have children as young as 3.5 years old all the way up to 12, and we divide that into 4 age groups, and the kids the kids have a great time. The parents have a great time. There's cheering. We're also very thankful. I'll plug Mellow Cream that donates donuts to the program.
Good for
as
them.
well.
Really?
Yeah. So
Great for
glazed
them.
donuts on a Saturday morning is a big hit with everybody.
Well, whether you are a real athlete or not, if you're going to get a donut, I bet they're willing to go.
Right.
Now, I have one caveat here, Chris,
Yeah.
and that is we're at the old former LDC grounds. We need to be sure that we don't let some dumb politicians think, oh, my God, we can't have them out there. We might be in trouble. There's that sort of warped thinking going around down there under the Capitol Dome in Springfield.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Yeah, like I said, we're just very thankful that we're able to use the grounds. We don't know how long we'll have those grounds to use, but they maintain them nice and in big grass areas to put our fields, and it works out well. But
That's
you're
wonderful.
right. I hope they don't come in and think they need to put something else in there.
Well, that program has been out at LDC now for a number of years, because I remembered going to games out there.
Right. So
Well, it's a great, not everybody can be a football player. Not everybody can be a great basketball player. Soccer, you can be great soccer players too, by the by. But soccer encompasses all-encompassing for a lot of youngsters with miscellaneous skills and varied skills, so they can all get out there and have a good time and get some exercise and learn about sportsmanship.
And families fellowship, and that is really awesome to see if you go out and take pictures of the kids playing, and that just is always something so fulfilling to see that the families interacting with each other, and this community needs that.
It's great. Jim and I remember soccer very fondly, don't we, Jim?
Yeah.
Clear up through high school. My grandson, his son, that was at LCU at that time. That was before you moved to the LDC. And now, you're going to be having a summer camp. Let's talk about summer camp.
Well, I can work on that a little bit here. We're taking registrations now, and we have been since April, early April, getting the word out, and kids will have a lot of activities going on, some water play activities outside. We do split our camps into the kindergarten through 2nd grade and then 3rd through 6th grade. Just makes more sense, and a little bit more stability for the small ones that just come in and getting ready to enter kindergarten, and it is for children entering kindergarten through 6th grade. But we've got our staff hired and going to work on a training here very shortly and get them ready. But the kids get all kinds of opportunities. Obviously, we used to go to the Lincoln Park District pool, and while that's under renovation, we have done Plan B, and we take weekly field trips out to area water parks in maybe Pekin, Dragonland, Splashdown East Peoria,
Nights?
Fairview. Yeah, very, very fortunate that we can do that. We have a couple good sponsors that allows us to do that. SEFCU and Lincoln Rotary is sponsoring us this year, so
Oh, nice.
we'll be putting their logos on the backs of the little camp T-shirts, and and actually we're just hoping that maybe some of our parents get some information about Lincoln Rotary, and maybe help boost enrollment for Lincoln Rotary too, and hitting a young crowd of parents that we'd like young men and women, professionals, to come out and join us at Rotary too as well.
Now, I know that you recruit volunteers. Do they serve in the summer camp program as well as others?
We have worked with CIEDC, the foster grandparent program.
Oh, yes.
For several years, and to date I haven't heard that there's any foster grandparents coming to our program, but we would always welcome that, to work with the children. It's been a very rewarding experience for the children to have grandparents, so to speak, sit down one-on-one and work with them when they arrive to camp at 6:30 in the morning and stay a long day till 6 p.m.
I bet they go home and take a good rest.
Yeah. Take a nap before you go to bed.
and you'd be surprised, there's a lot of parents that really kind of giggle after the first week that they're just so tired. Well, we do wear them out, and that's a benefit of the camp for the parents too as well at night. So
Well, you're fighting
kids are-
sedentary childhood. with a vengeance, aren't you?
We want to talk about membership, but first and foremost, we have a membership up here. It's called sponsors. So we're going to recognize them, and then we're going to come back. I want to talk just a little bit about membership and why. Okay, Mr. Hayes? And we're right back live in the studios here, WLCN. 648-5510 would be the telephone number. Somebody out there might have a question of Chris Cicci or Jan Schacht, representing our local YMCA. Fills a real need for a lot of families, and with particular emphasis on the youngsters. You know, it occurs to me, folks, that a lot of adults who do not have children or had children long since growing up and so forth, they're just really not aware of the depth and the scope of the program that you offer our youngsters in the YMCA program here. I wanted to discuss membership just a minute. Jan, would you kind of take us to the top on that and tell us how one becomes a member?
Sure.
The cost is certainly minimal. Just for a comment on that, if you would, please.
Yeah, sure. We have we're a membership organization, like many organizations are in the area. But our members, they pay a very minimal fee of $35 a year to be a member. And when they're a member in some programs, they'll get a cheaper rate than if they were a non-member. But the membership actually allows them to get seasonal catalogs, and it helps us offset the cost of actually operating the office, so we can market the programs and things like that. So,
Is there still a program? I know there used to be with scholarships for soccer kids. You still do that?
Definitely, we do that. We have an annual campaign, and we have a lot of contributors to that. And people that have financial hardship or a situation in their family that, is a little difficult, they just present their case. We have an application for that, actually. Not very difficult to fill out, but even if it's not a financial hardship, if there's something going on that, just a little tough in their family, then they just present their case, and we don't turn any of them away, but there is an application process that they go through, and even if our office isn't open, we still have those applications available in our outer hall that people can get at any point in time when the building is open, with Sorrento's being across the hall late night hours. So
Give us an age from top to bottom in ages. At what is the youngest age that a youngster can participate? And then where do they max out?
Oh, well, usually our programs are like our swim lessons that are coming up. We'll do parent and infant, but most of our programs are with the preschool or kindergarten age through the 6th grade.
Through what grade, honey?
Through 6th grade.
Through 6th
About
grade.
3.5 to 12.
Yeah.
Chris, why don't you give us a big rundown here on the sports program?
Will do.
Right there.
Well, we offer an array of sports and aquatics throughout the summer. Starting off, we always kick off our summer with our what we call our Wee Ball program. It's a take on the T-ball program, and we have kids 3.5 to 6 years old out at our facility, and we do baseball related. We have them hit off tees and learn how to catch balls and throw balls and run bases. They love to run bases. I don't know why that is, but I think they just love running around. But they love running bases, and then we break them off into two teams at the end and do a scrimmage. So that's always a lot of fun, and the parents come out and cheer on their kids.
Don't forget grandparents too. They really enjoy that. Parents
and grandparents. We also have what we call our Sports of All Sorts camp, a little sports camp, once again for 3.5 to 6 years old, that we run the second week of June. And this is for a chance for kids who kind of don't know what they like as far as sports go. So what we do is every day we run soccer, football, baseball, and basketball, and it gives them a chance to kind of maybe feel, oh, I like that sport, or I like that sport. Sometimes they like all four, but it gives them a chance to figure out.
You got a real
what they like.
Borgersmord going there, haven't you?
Absolutely. And then as we go throughout the summer, we'll have a golf clinic that we run twice a year out at the Elks. Kids, and that's actually really good because kids have a chance to not only learn the sport of golf, but if there's areas, say they've played golf for a little bit and they're struggling in an area, well, that instructor will work with that specific area and try and improve their game. So golf has been a big program for us. Yeah. We're running a co-ed basketball camp that will be later on in the summer, the third week of June, for trying to get a little bit older children in this. It goes 1st through 6th grade, and we'll run that at our activity center. The aforementioned swim lessons that we do at the Elks, those will start in mid-June, and that is actually probably our biggest sporting program of the summer. Runs all the way from 6 months old for the parent-child class all the way up to our advanced, which can go up to 12 years old. So those are just a few of the programs, and we encourage everyone to take a look at all the programs that we have to offer throughout the summer.
Well, and you've got a myriad of them for sure.
We have a bike ride coming up during the Balloon Fest, and that's sponsored by Fitness Balance and Massey Construction. And, that's always fun during the Balloon Fest to add that. We call that.
And you go from where to where?
Yeah, that's we've had a course now that I guess coming up on would be our 4th year, where we run it from our activity center and then north into Logan County up through the windmills there at Union and over the Skunk Hollow, the covered bridge there at Skunk Hollow, and it ends up being a 30-mile course. And then we do a shorter course, kind of the same highlights as that one, but just a little bit shorter for a 15. And then we do a 5-mile course, family fun ride around town. Some of the sights and sounds of the Art and Balloon Festival, have them go around downtown. And so we call it our Prairie 55 bike ride that encompasses the, if you add up the mileage of all 3 of the rides. So
that's what it is.
Yeah, it's great for. I know we gear a lot of our programs towards children, but this is a chance for adults and children as well to do a program that's later on in the summer. And it's a little bit early for this, but I'll go ahead and plug this as well as far as another adult program. Starting last year, we did an adult flag football program and had that out at our activity center there on Wyatt. And it gets a chance for any person 16 years older. And we had a lot of fun with that. We were very grateful. Chad Letterly at the County Fire Department kind of spearheaded that and got that off the ground. And we had a lot of firemen, a lot of their friends, and we're hoping to get maybe some police officers and, well, really anybody in town that's interested in playing football in the fall. Like I said, we gear so much our programs towards the children. It's nice to try to at least have a few programs for the adults as well.
Well, I was kind of disappointed. You cut me in the first week.
You didn't make the pros, huh?
No, I couldn't. Told me not to come back.
Is it flag football or real football?
It's flag football. Yeah. We call it football without the heavy contact.
Yeah, well, because they're very concerned about football. You'll notice that the professional football players are after them.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting article today about the players are suing the NFL again. There's always somebody suing somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a hobby with some people.
Actually, all of our programs are available on our website. If folks will go to lincolnymca.org, they can get a little bit more right on our homepage. Click on this catalog here that we have for summer and fill in themselves with all the details, and of course could call us.
And you don't have to have a computer at home. You can go down to the library.
That's right.
And Richard Summerall will make that available to you.
He'll take
which is a
care of
neat
you.
thing.
You betcha.
know, a lot of parents might like to know about that because they could go down there and get on that Lincoln Give it. Tell us again, please, Jan.
LincolnYMCA.org.
LincolnYMCA.org. Okay.
Let's talk a little minute about active older adults. That be you, Willie Bill.
Well,
Very older.
for several years, since 2007, I believe, we've had a free walking program, and the hospital does a great job of trying to find out the agencies, Walmart, places that folks can come to and walk for free. But we've offered that just for people to get out, have a chance during the winter to still be active, and it's totally free. We welcome people Monday through Friday, 1 to 3. Come and walk as you please, and yeah, basically been a success. I think this last year we've been a little down in numbers, but it was a very cold winter too.
You noted.
I think people were hibernating.
It was impressive, I thought.
But actually, we've had some really good, strong numbers,
Good.
up to maybe 20, 25 people throughout the course of the year come as they can and walk.
Good.
You just sign in, register at the Y. It doesn't cost anything, and for liability purposes, just register, and then we have paperwork on the site there in case something would happen. So.
How about parents' night off? I remember having been a parent and sometimes thinking a night off sounded pretty good.
Come pretty
Parents-
rare.
Parents' night off what we used to call our party night, and it is still a party night, but we tried to market it towards the parents like, hey, you have a couple hours off from your children, and we usually do that on select Friday nights throughout the year from 7 to 9. And we have different themes. Obviously, in October, we always do our big Halloween party where we transform the gym into a haunted house and tell a ghost story and do Halloween-related games and activities. And we also have a sports night. We'll do, over this year, we did a Disney night for the kids. We'll sometimes have movie-related themes, Shrek, Aladdin, just various themes for the kids. We did a pirate party back in the fall. That was a big hit. We had a scavenger hunt for a big treasure chest full of candy at the end. So the kids, we keep them moving, but we also have a lot of cool prizes, and they get pizza, and they're all they're pretty excited to come out and do the party night. So, but we like to call it the parents' night out for the parents to get a break.
I understood you to say that you gave them all this candy just before you sent them home. How clever of you. Get them sugared up and give them back to their mother. They're not just another pretty face, are they?
Only a mother would think that.
Good plan. Good plan. How about cow bingo?
Oh, well, we had cow bingo scheduled for last Friday night on the 16th, actually, but with the weather, we rescheduled that to May 30th on Friday, and that is from 5 to 7:30, May 30th, and it's a free event. We roast hot dogs, we have marshmallows and chips and all kinds of fun. We have a bounce climber that has been sponsored by Flipper's Lawn Management. We have all kinds of sponsors that help us out put this on, and it's a lot of outdoor recreation. It's an art tent where they make some art projects. They have an archery demo through Dave Duvall's Automotive. Ron's Towing, another one of our sponsors for our archery program, is bringing out monster trucks. Just an array of fun activity. Friday night, we used to do it on Saturdays, but we've switched to Friday, and we find that the people come very hungry, and that's what we want. We want them to enjoy the Y. It's over on Wyatt Avenue at our facility there, Oddfellows Gym, just outside, and we're hoping the weather does a really a turnaround for us. But the cow comes, and that cow is sponsored by Graff Farms this year. informally from Rankin Farms and Irwin Farm. But the cow comes around 6:45. We are still selling tickets for the game, but the cow is unloaded from the trailer and walks this big grid with all the ticket numbers that we've spray painted on, like a big soccer field, only with squares. And wherever the cow poops or pees, they are that number is the winner of a $700 cash prize. And Walmart has donated
The what cash
a
prize?
$700 cash prize.
Whoa.
So it's only a ticket's $10 or 2 for $15.
You really made Bill and Jim's day. Thank you.
I'm trying to think who in the world thought this up.
Well, actually, Shane Weaver, a longtime friend of mine.
Well, there we
Well,
go.
there's the answer right there. Our neighbor.
God
said,
love her.
You need to have Bossy the cow, or Bessie the cow, I think she called it, and she explained the whole activity to me, and I said, by golly, that would be so fun for the kids. And when that cow comes, those kids get to pet the cow. It's just
Which end?
wonderful.
Not that end.
But Walmart donated a 32-inch flat screen TV, and then that would be the second prize.
You know, I was pitching that stuff out the barn window many years ago. It never occurred to me that
It's a lot of fun.
there would ever be a sport
Oh, yeah.
connected with it.
Well, hats off to Jane, huh?
Yes.
I bet you sat there with your mouth open for just a minute, though, didn't you, when she started to explain that?
I think maybe, Mr. Ash, we could do a play-by-play on that.
There you go.
And we'll have Jeff number 2.
There you go.
Reporting in on
Well,
us.
Jane helped sponsor the program for many years with us, and is proud of her baby.
Oh, yes.
Her idea, and then her counterpart, Kay Anderson with Serenity Now. She's a sponsor for the program, as well as many others. Levin Spoonful, Mama's Arcade. You know, just an array of probably about 20 sponsors that help us out with that event.
Jan
That's
and
great.
Chris, we need to settle where your office is. A lot of people might not realize that it's down there on the square.
Yes.
And so if you'll describe that for us, please.
Sure.
And I would like to emphasize the phone number and again, the website, because I think it's important for people to have access to. Boy, you do a lot. You really do. You have a full.
Small little crew doing quite a bit of things, a lot of things behind the scenes. But thank you for that compliment. I appreciate that. We are located on the downtown square. It's a great place to be. Let's see all the activity.
Right next to Sorrento's there?
It's next to Sorrento's, and Sorrento's is always open till 9 or 10. So our information is right in the hallway. It's always accessible, even if the office is closed at 5. So it's always accessible, and there's a drop box that they could put their registration forms in. And then our phone number is 735-3915. And again, our website is lincolnymca.org.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, when people pick up their catalog, in the center of it, there are membership applications so that you can sign up right on the
We want to make
right
it
on the
convenient.
spot.
Absolutely.
When we were off the air, we asked you I don't know why, but we did. We asked you how many kids over the summer are going to be participating across the board.
Well, I would say at least 500 or more. Throughout the entire year, we do reports, and we have over 3,300, 3,500 kids participate that we count as program spaces that we fill throughout the year. So that's a lot of space.
Now, you know, it occurs to me, Chris and Jan, as I sit here and go through this in my mind, this program, and not only are we enhancing the summer lives of a lot of youngsters, also we're enhancing the summer lives of a lot of parents. It's great to know that their youngsters are out participating in something that is meaningful and safe, and not to worry about where my kid is. So that's a great program.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Our summer camp is full of fun and energetic staff. And
Have you given us a rundown of the activities that you'll be having at the summer camp? We did talk about the field trips, but they'll be doing more than taking a field trip.
Well, I'm looking here at a summer field trip blast here on this page, and my goodness gracious, we're going to the water park in Normal. We're going to East Peoria. We're going to Normal. We're going to East Peoria. We're going to Pekin. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. It's a lot of detail to pay attention to, and of course our number one priority is to keep the kids safe, and that's not always easy to do. Children have minds of their own sometime, and want to venture, but our
and
staff
some
really
are more active than others and require close supervision so that they see another birthday.
Yes.
Let me ask about financing. You are certainly tickled to death to have stray donations come in. From time to time, does that happen? People remember you, perhaps in their, hopefully in their wills maybe, or as a matter of, at the time of visitation, remember the YMCA or something like that.
Absolutely. Megan Kissel family, Chad Burnham family. We have a football program named after Chad Burnham and the late Megan Kissel. Our fall soccer is named after her. Of course, John Welsh, when he passed
That's
away,
neat.
a lot of memorials came to
nice.
our Y is very grateful for. But yeah, memorials through funerals and we have a lot of corporate sponsors. We have a lot.
That's a nice thing.
Yes.
I saw Eaton was heading up the list, you might know.
Yeah.
Yes,
Eaton is always a big sponsor there.
We
And many things in the community they do. At the risk, I was going to ask you to name some, but we might forget some, and I don't want to do
The
that.
list is very long, actually, and we're very grateful for that. And of course, we publish that in our catalog as the year rolls.
Sure.
The list gets longer. We published it by company and supporters, sponsors. We publish it by individuals who give. So we try and include everyone's name who gives.
How does one become a sponsor?
Well, it's just easy.
Write a check.
You just, basically that's what it is. We have an annual campaign that we send out letters and to all of our membership and to grandparents and to businesses, and then we do some fundraising on the side. As Cow Bingo is a fundraiser, and some of our board members are doing cookouts or quarter auctions, things like that, to sustain us as as you talked about finances.
Board members, tell us about the board members. How many are involved? And
Yeah, we have 9 board members.
that's a pretty large board.
Yeah, it is a pretty nice sized board, and we have a couple representatives from Eaton. Jim Drew is our president with Logan County Farm Bureau. Sally Fleshman is our treasurer. Gary Nodine is our vice president. He also serves on Park District Board, which we thought was a great
Partnership,
opportunity for both the Park District and us to share a board member, so to speak. So, and that's been wonderful. But yeah, a group of 9. Krista Healy, who is a principal at District 27, is on our board. Gilbert Vandenberger and Joe Ryan, and so a number of Lynette Hurley, and I hope I named them all.
Yeah, all people trying to make the community a little better by virtue of their pitching in and helping the most important asset we have in our community is our kids.
Amen.
And Dean Colby. Dean's a very active member of our board and very interested in how the Y progresses. So
Great.
yeah.
Well, Jan Schacht and Chris Cicci, we appreciate very much your spending some time with us this morning, telling us about a really, really important part of the summer activities. Well, year-round, really, for youngsters who might need a little direction or just can learn how to have a little fun. It's a great program for the community. We appreciate it very, very much. I couldn't find much of a quote about recreation, and I decided since that Monday is Memorial Day, maybe I'd come up with a quote about Memorial Day, and I've got to reach around here and find where I writ it down here. Valor is stability not of legs and arms, but of the courage of the soul, philosophy. Well, the old fellow forgot his rhyme. We'll try that again. Take two. Valor, stability, not of legs and arms, but of courage and the soul. Well, that ought to work as far as valor is concerned.
And we call it a simple shot. Come out to the Y and put some play in your day.
Thank you very, very much,
Thank
Jan
you.
and Chris.
Thank you so much for the
Bye-bye.
opportunity.
In every way.